All right, YouTube, Jeff Lindsay in the garage, Saturday. I know we talked about not videoing much on this side, and we probably won't do a very long video. I did want to show you the finished side I showed last night, but a little bit of a different angle. I have turned the car around in the shop. All my tools are on this side, so we just kind of spun it around so we didn't have to drag all the tools over there. This thing rolls around pretty easy. But I wanted to share mainly the fact that what we suspected all along, that this side is not as bad as the other side was. On the other side, we had damage out into here, especially in this area right here. The only thing is just you can't even hang your fingernail in that. On this top quarter part of the quarter, we don't have any damage, any rust. There's a little bit of a gouge. I mean, you can't hardly feel it, and you can't even hang your nail in it. And that's that red primer. I don't know if that was something that happened maybe from the factory or not, but it's got that red primer in, which was the first layer, I think. It was just a little strange there. But we got good metal all the way up to the corner. And we got up in here and started digging around a little bit, and we talked about maybe replacing this roof skin. And this is probably going to go ahead and make up my mind on that part of it. This thing is eat up, and I've got a sneaky suspicion that it's eat up all the way across. So what we'll do is we'll come back under this on the inside and rebuild with a new piece to get our length. Just tear all that other out before we take this roof skin off, separate what's there, rebuild out to the correct place there, and then maybe go ahead and replace that skin, which will take care of a lot of that. And it'll also give me an opportunity to look at that inside panel and see if we need to do anything other than hopefully just sand it down and protect it. But I believe we're going to get away with just the angle from this edge. We'll cut back right on this lip and just do that 80 degree, 90 degree, whatever you want to call it. Both pieces are 3/4, so I won't have all that weld to clean out in here. The only weld I should have is in here along that edge, and just try to make that edge look good. And I'm going to do that all the way up into probably about in this area, take care of that, and then leave the rest of this. And once we get the roof skin on, we'll connect those two pieces with a corner. That's the plan. Sounds like a plan. Sounds good. Sounds easy. I'm sure it's not. We're going to get down into here. All that we replaced on the other side, I don't think we're going to have to mess with. There's a little bit of damage in this lip, this little flange area where we drilled out for that gutter channel. I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to replace. And the reason why, bear with me just for a second, is if you take the new channel and you put that new channel in place, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up coming in here and welding to this. So everywhere where there's a missing tooth, whatever you want, just a little piece there, I'm hoping what I can do is just clean this up real good and just use those places kind of like spot weld holes, which I've already got a few in there where I drilled out. I'm going to go up underneath and look and see how bad that rust is. If I can sand that out and put some epoxy on it, And then, like I say, come in there with this piece, and I can actually use those little missing areas there. Hopefully not have to do too much more work to this back part. Maybe I'll save a little time. But again, I did want to share that metal. I took the DA and came back with that and got it down to the metal most all the way. Let me get out a little bit so it'll make it a little easier to see. So we're going to get to work on that, and we will post this video up hopefully tonight or tomorrow. So we'll be back. I've about seen it all, guys. There's what they had in there for a patch. A piece of galvanized right over the rust. We just took our air hammer and knocked it right out, along with about a pint of Bondo. I'll bring you back. All right, YouTube, I just wanted to share this kind of for our little garage gang, mainly. I typically have bought steel locally from a machine shop here. But a while back I called around there and wanted some 20 gauge, and the guy just blew me off. We don't mess with that thin mess. So I just got on the internet and searched. Both these pieces of sheet metal are 2 foot by 4 foot. It was one 20 gauge and one 16 gauge piece. And I just searched for them on the internet and came up with this. This is the second time I've bought from these guys. And I've really been impressed with their speed as far as filling this order and the way this stuff comes in packaged. That corrugated there is probably about 3/4 of an inch thick, and it came in with that 1x4 stiffener to keep that stuff from getting messed up. And that's Metals Depot, and I'm not really plugging. Well, I guess I am, but I'm just mainly saying if you don't have a source, they've been good. A couple times I've ordered, I've got it pretty quick, and they seem to, even on small orders like this. I mean, I didn't spend $50 or $60. That's including the shipping. But even on small orders, they have done a great job, and I doubt I'll ever mess with anybody around locally anymore. But I just wanted to throw that out there if anybody is looking for some sheet metal. And they've got other stuff, other goods also, pretty much anything you want. They don't do any services as far as bending, shaping. It's just cut and supply. But again, I just want to throw that out there. Metals Depot is where I get my stuff from. All right, YouTube. We got a little bit done. We 1 for 2, you might say. Been back and 2 in the house watching football and kind of taking it easy. But we got our bottom piece built, welded in, like we did on the other side. And we didn't have to come out in here and patch anything, so we started right on that outside edge or just under it. And we got a piece manufactured there and put in, as well as the bottom piece. I mean, it was all shot. So this will be trimmed down to fit that top edge there, and we'll drill that for spot welds as we go up. But we just kind of didn't. We kind of halfway worked at it today. We didn't put a lot of effort in, but we got a little done. And tomorrow we'll go at it some more and try to finish up this side at least. There's still a good bit to do. But we're pretty good back in here. We cleaned on up a little bit. We've got a little bit around this lip here. We may end up coming in there and replacing that. That gutter track's gonna go in there, and I could actually weld through, you know, and weld all this up, but I don't want to leave it looking that bad. I'm gonna come in here and fix some of that. So that's where we at. That's where we left off. We got that piece in. We just got to drill our spot weld holes and attach it, and work on that corner piece tomorrow and try to get it knocked out. Thanks everybody for watching and subscribing and commenting, and have a good Saturday afternoon.